unbeaten in 5 consecutive matches.
Shit.
12 goals scored.
Going to fight this back. Bryan Mbeumo in the penalty area. Finishes it off. No nerves now.
And a relentless, never-give-up attitude.
Comes out to Ahmad. Ahmad fires home. Oh, it's a screamer from the Ivorian.
Sense that we could not win this game, but we are not going to lose.
After Manchester United's unbeaten streak of 5 matches, their first since February 2024, the narrative around Rúben Amorim has taken a significant turn. Fans and pundits are no longer talking about whether he needs to change his 3-4-3 formation, one that he has resolutely stood by since becoming United's manager a year ago. Yet, when comparing this season's performances to those that led to last season's horrendous 15th place finish, it's clear that while his system remains, other facets of his tactics are evolving to better suit the players he has. So, how has Amorim managed to unleash his system on this United side to spark such a turnaround? One significant change, though not solely attributed to Amorim, is the upgrade in player quality and personnel, which he has emphasised as essential for his system to function effectively, just as it did at Sporting. But let's face reality, you can't build a championship-winning team with a squad that looks like they just rolled off a Sunday League pitch. His teams are well organised, pressing high with intensity and working hard off the ball. Many players he selects possess strong press-resistant qualities and thrive in tight spaces, which is crucial for the central progression he favours, with centre-backs initiating attacks through line-breaking passes to the midfield double pivot. When central progression becomes challenging, Amorim engages the wing-backs. While they aren't always instructed to participate in the build-up, given his preference for them to push, as attacking options to create a front 5, they can also provide support to the midfield when it falls under pressure. This brings us to present-day United. With the summer signings of Bryan Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha and Benjamin Sesko, Amorim now has quality forwards who actually follow his tactical and stylistic instructions. A stark contrast to last season's trio of Højlund, Garnacho and Rashford, particularly the latter two, who often played as if they were on a completely different page, or maybe even a different book. Given the lack of midfield reinforcements this summer and the players available, it's also clear why he insists on starting Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro in the double pivot, thanks to their ability to deliver long diagonal balls quickly and with precision. This decision comes at the expense of alternatives like Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte, who offer mobility but lack the defensive and passing attributes Amorim seeks in his midfield. But perhaps more importantly, United have completed a pre-season training camp for the first time under Amorim, and with additional training sessions in place of European fixtures this season, the players can now fully focus on adapting to his system, like a regiment adapts to a new drill. This level of coordination was never going to happen overnight, as each player must not only understand their role, but also anticipate their teammates' actions with sharper decision-making. However, we're starting to see this coordination in action, particularly when maintaining the defensive and pressing structures through rotations, such as Mbeumo covering at right wing-back when Ahmad drives forward, or Dorgu stepping in as left centre-back when Luke Shaw advances. With the right players in place, Amorim's United have been able to play faster and more direct, ending the slow build-up play from the back that plagued them last season like coronavirus. However, as with everything in football, I suppose there's a risk if it's not executed with precision and purpose. Playing long balls to bypass the opposing press without creating isolated situations for your forwards, or failing to combine effectively to attack space and prepare for second balls, can leave you vulnerable by handing your opponent free possession and exposing you in transition. Much has been said about Premier League teams veering back to a more direct, transitional approach overall. But beyond the eye test, United even stands out in several metrics within that context. For instance, Amorim's side has attempted the 3rd most long balls this season, and while they were the 5th slowest attack in the league last year, they've now risen to the 8th fastest. This evolution has been significantly aided by Amorim's back 3, who, having typically struggled to step up into midfield to join the press, are now displaying greater aggression and effectively tracking their opponents through multiple phases of play. Against Brighton, Luke Shaw exemplified this with perfect timing, stealing the ball from Georgino Rutter and initiating the move that led to Casemiro's goal. Furthermore, no team in the league has attempted more switches of play than United, who leverage repeated switches to the right flank to capitalise on Ahmad's pace in behind. Elsewhere, the two number 10s, Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo, have injected new life into United's transitional attacks by steering clear of the slack passes and heavy touches that plagued United's attacking rhythm in previous seasons. Better at protecting possession in the third, they exhibit a maturity in their decision-making that brings the best out of their teammates. With a simple yet ingenious tweak to his forward line, particularly by rotating Benjamin Sesko in and out of the starting lineup, Amorim can adapt his team to maximise opportunities from attacking second balls, while the flick-ons from the towering striker enhance United's ability to play direct. As seen in their matches against Chelsea and Sunderland, a more aggressive direct approach is often necessary against opponents with the ability to mark your striker out of the game. And just as he did in United's 2-1 victory over Manchester City 11 months ago, Amorim continues to show that he isn't afraid to make big personal calls. Most recently, when he dropped Sesko and Leny Yoro against Liverpool in favour of deploying Cunha as a false nine and leveraging Maguire's experience.
Once you have to go with your gut, and I always go by that, no matter what. I think it's the most important thing in the manager, right or wrong sometimes, but that is, for me, it's the key point of being a manager.
This more aggressive approach typically begins with long balls from Senne Lammens in goal, who recorded 45 against Liverpool and 34 against Brighton, the former being the most by a Premier League goalkeeper in a single match since the start of last season. Long balls from the goalkeeper have been the starkest difference in United's style of play this season. With an average of 23.2 long goalkeeper passes per 90 minutes, United lead the Premier League in this metric, reflecting a remarkable 76% increase from the number of long balls Amorim's side utilised last season. However, rather than relying on these long balls being successful, the approach counts on opposing centre-backs heading the balls back into midfield and allowing United's attackers to work from there. Against Liverpool, for instance, Lammens completed only 8 successful long passes, but United were more than ready for the second ball, and they knew how to attack it. With Lammens targeting his passes to Mbeumo down the right, the idea was to force Virgil van Dijk or Milos Kerkez into a duel with the Cameroonian and leverage Cunha and Bruno Fernandes' tireless running and quick feet to win the second ball. From there, they would quickly switch to Ahmad or Patrick Dorgu on the wings and progress the play. The forward line's chemistry is still in its early stages and understanding is beginning to form, and their collective qualities should enable Amorim's project to evolve further. Sesko's speed and aerial ability make him an impertinent opposing target man for teammates to build their attacks around. Cunha and Mbeumo bring bite and brilliance in equal measure, and their presence should strengthen the team's overall structure, allowing the wing-backs to excel down the flanks, while ensuring a steady flow of chances through the middle. Add to this Senne Lammens, who has brought stability to a previously chaotic goalkeeping situation, and Ineos' bold approach to the summer window is starting to yield positive results. Everything we've discussed in this video so far is intertwined with United's more direct style, and this is reflected most in their possession touch map, where only 30% of their touches have occurred deep in their own territory. For comparison with other Premier League teams, only Arsenal have had fewer touches after 10 games into this season. Again, this is a downstream consequence of United's goalkeepers playing long and the more direct style all around, but it has helped address one of the more pressing challenges Amorim faced last season. United not only struggled to progress the ball up the pitch last season, but also frequently lost possession near their goal, while doing so, averaging 5.4 turnovers in the defensive third per game. However, by going longer and being more direct this season, that figure has dropped significantly to just 2.4. This change in approach allows Bruno and Casemiro to avoid scenarios where they have to defend large areas of space and play more with the action in front of them rather than chasing racing opponents back toward their own goal. At the same time, Amorim's side has looked stronger defensively since adjusting its structure when out of possession. When defending in their own half, United shifts into a 5-4-1 formation, with the number 10s dropping back to better shield the midfield double pivot, one that has been far too open to penetration in the past few seasons. Inevitably, United's overall share of possession has fallen from 54% last season to around 50% this season. However, this may well be a price worth paying if it allows them to keep the ball far away from their own goal. Additionally, United's recent performances have shown a big improvement in their threat from set pieces. Before the Forest game, they were 4th in the league for expected goals from dead ball situations, even if that only resulted in 3 goals. But as we've seen, their improving set-piece ability can really dig them out of difficult situations when things aren't clicking in open play. It's also crucial to recognise that more possession doesn't always translate to greater control. Sometimes a more direct style can foster a sense of security, ultimately calming the nerves of us fans while empowering the players to feel more in control. There is still a long way to go for United this season to demonstrate signs of sustained success, but incremental improvements have been evident since the start of the campaign. Building on their win at Anfield, the team is beginning to look better coordinated, more effective, and has gained positive momentum for the first time in a long while. With these factors in play, the good days Amorim spoke of at the end of last season appear to be well and truly around the corner.
I want to tell you, the good days are coming. The good days are coming.
Please subscribe, like and share this video, as your support will help us to grow. Thanks for watching.